All right. Well, let's hop right in. No reason to wait, right? Might as well get it going. Division B West, Virtual Murky Slayers versus Reborn Knights Red. Let's get on into game number 1. On the left, we've got Virtual Murky Slayers Veggies playing the Anubarak. A Brew or 2 going to be playing the Hanzo. We've got E-Bagatron on... No, E-Bagatron's on the Hanzo. Brewer 2 is on Cassia. Fake News Nate going to be on the Ana. And Swagneros on the Malthael. Meanwhile, on the right, Reborn Knights Red. We've got Dane Brow playing the Rexar. Ryan's going to be on the Kael'thas. Stamop going to be playing the Tychus. Ninja on the ETC. And Stock going to be on the Stukov. So right away we're going to see all 5 members coming into the mid. Swagneros going deep here. Fend as well. Trying to get the damage down onto Stamop. Nisha also taking quite a bit of damage there. But look at the turn. Stamop not even close to afraid right now. It is going to go down, but they're going to trade it out for the Malthael. Nisha also going down, but First Blood technically belongs to Virtual Murky Slayers there. But it is a 1-for-1 exchange early. Worth noting that Reborn Knights Red got both of those globes though, which is good. They got 3 globe quests, so really you could rename this team comp to "Will Die for Globes." Ninja kind of in here on the flank, and look at that again. Look at the slide and the double gravity laps. They're gonna grab both of those globes. And that wasn't, they weren't trying to kill him either. They were just there to get those globes. Stamop also getting the 2 globes in mid though. See the rotation in from Rhines. Up in the top lane, Swagneros gonna have fun against the 1.5 hero. Stamop just kind of hanging around, just here for XP reasons. Not much else. Bottom camp grabbed by VMS though. They're gonna be really well. They're gonna do really well in the macro game. Anytime I've seen them play, they just very on point with their rotations and their camp grabs. Very skilled group. Stamop scouting out, gonna see nobody sitting on that. I like that call. You see multiple members in mid, you're not gonna be walking into 5. Maybe you find Malthael a little bit low. Get a quick pick. Oh, but speaking of quick pick, ouchies. As VMS able to chase down Tychus on that rotation. He was safe until he went that way. And by the way, as I'm saying, you're not going to run into multiple members of VMS. There you go. Ran right into him. Meanwhile, we do have the Shrine activated here in the bot. Ninja rotating around, scouting. Not going to find anybody just yet. In comes VMS. I'm going to go ahead and maybe start their camp. Maybe just start the objective. There you go. Top camp is pushing. So VMS is going to have a little bit of extra pressure up there in that top lane. But Reborn Knights Red committing to this nice and early. They're going to force the issue pretty quick here. Meanwhile, Brewer 2 getting a nice fend into Stamop. Gonna bring him down to about half health. He's going to be forced to retreat and tap. Ryan's also very low on the mana right now. We have the grenade coming in from Fake News Nate. Only finding Ninja, but still that healing denial pretty nice. Especially against ETC, because that does prevent self-healing as well as healing from other sources. Look at Stamop getting so low there. The sleep and the healing grenade again coming into play. And now it looks like the members of Virtual Murky Slayers are going to go ahead and back off of this for the moment. Or Virtual, I should say, Reborn Knights Red is going to back off of it. VMS on top of that point. So Mop going to have to be back. Get some health back here. Immediately they send Rexar to double soak in the other lanes. I love that call. 4 here will definitely be enough to clean out this Punisher. Wall is down though, so VMS can look to try and engage off of this if they want to. See the extra root circles come down there, but 3 members get stunned off of that Punisher jump. They will be able to pull the Punisher back to the wall though, and that will finish that off. But the fort goes down, so VMS doing a nice job of capitalizing there. Meanwhile, they got Malthael, pretty good hero to counter the double soak. Though he does not have the on a pale horse talent at 1 to literally have the faster rotations, but he's got the wave clear for it at least. Camp going to be grabbed here by VMS. Another nice early camp grab off of these rotations. And uh-oh, Bush Gank is on. Nope, they're just going to go right onto the actual camp. Going to put Ninja to sleep. And I don't know if Reborn Knights Red can really do anything about this. They're deciding not to. They're going to just clean up the bot lane. They can always rotate to clear this. Not really a big deal there. Meanwhile, Swagneros doing what he can up here against Danebrow. Sieging in to mid are VMS. I'm going to get the front wall down with the use of that camp. They had a pretty big wave built up too. Definitely went in the race to level 10 here as Virtual Murky Slayers. We'll have that soon. Bagatron going to rotate up to top, give Malthael a little bit of relief up here. Push in a little bit as well. The next map objective will be up here in the top, so both teams going to look to see if they can put any pressure onto top. Be a good opportunity for them to get an advantage before that next shrine pops. Level 10 is now coming in for both teams. Looks like for VMS we're going to have the Nano Boost, Dragon's Arrow, Last Rite, Ball Lightning, and the Cocoon. Stunning onto Swagneros is Danebrow actually kind of stepping forward into this 2v1. Another stun onto Swagneros. Eat a ton of damage there. Meanwhile, Reborn Knights Red have... Ooh, look out! You're going to see the Mosh Pit coming in. You're going to find the Mosh Pit onto a Nubarak. Cassia already down here as Reborn Knights Red diving in deep. Last Rites goes out. Kills the Tychus, but the Pyro in response going to take him down. Bagatron actually jumps right into the face of Rhines, but look out, Stukov stalking it there with the lurking arm. Finishes him off in that little chokehold there. I did not even see that team fight breaking out, ladies and gentlemen. That was a big team fight on that rotation from Reborn Knights Red. They cut off VMS from going up to the top lane. And now they'll be able to grab quite a lead on the shrine as the members of VMS are waiting for their heroes to come back up. I'm going to grab the camp. RKR do have their tents picked up though. It's going to be Pyroblast, Massive Shove, Mosh Pit, along with Commandeer Odin and Release the Boars. As my buddy Mongoose recently told me, you don't summon the boars, you release them. Stun coming in though, onto a Nubarak, and he gets blown up so fast there. Ton of damage coming out there from Reborn Knights Red. They do have the Tychus, so Stamop gonna be good at that. Malthael gonna fall as well. Kel'Thas nabbing a couple of kills here. And a big two-man stun followed up by the slide. That's usually the reverse of how you see it happen, but we'll take a two-man gravity lapse into this slide from ETC. It's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange for Reborn Knights Red. And right now, they're just beating down VMS in the team fights. You know, still structure lead, well in hand for VMS. But look at the two-man mosh pit. Ninja is taking a lot of damage, though, from the towers. But he early canceled after the kill came down onto Hanzo and walked away from the towers there. Brilliant, brilliant play by Ninja. Living up to his namesake there. We'll have the Punisher coming out as well, pushing into the mid. Mortar Punisher going to be dealing a good amount of siege damage here onto the structures or targeting the heroes. And Fake News Nate in that Shrike stance going to be a little bit slow in terms of trying to rotate away from these mortar shots. And you see it there, struggling to get out of those circles. And actually popped the grenade on himself there. It's Reborn Knights Red going to go ahead and be happy, evening out the structure advantage that VMS had gotten earlier. You see them grabbing their camp here in the bot lane. And going to be pushing in with the camp. Meanwhile, Reborn Knights Red kind of sharking around and figure out what they might want to do next. Misha is going to end up falling. No one can stop death. Not even Misha, it would appear. Poor bear. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, we're going to see Reborn Knights Red grabbing their camp. Maybe a little early for that Shaman camp, but we'll force the response from VMS at some point. The top lane already pushed out very far. Definitely going to allow them to clear out mid here pretty safely. Bagatron going to go up and start the clear on the top lane. Reborn Knights Red gonna push in here to mid, dealing a decent amount of damage to a brew or two there, but Fake News Nate got the goods there with the Ana healing. Bring him right back up. Level 16 coming in soon here for Reborn Knights Red. That's gonna be their big advantage going into this next objective. And look, VMS knows it. They are sharking around, looking for any kind of fight that they can get for level 16, but Reborn Knights Red, a seasoned team here in NGS, they know better than to take this fight before 16. They're not going to give it to them for free. And Ninja will shark around and look for something juicy in terms of a potential mosh pit, but upon not finding it, they'll just rotate away. We'll have to soak out the 16. We're going to have a small window before VMS can grab 16 themselves. I think they'll still be fine to grab it before this next objective, though. Yeah, they got 30 seconds to take it. And they've got Hanzo soaking in the bot lane. Veggie's in the mid as well. Oh, but Bagatron's got to be careful. Slide doesn't quite find him. He will have the natural agility over the wall. And level 16 is going to come in for VMS. I like the call, though. They went for it. And now they're going to grab the camp here as well. We'll have camp or shrine started by VMS. You get a nice little lead off of this, too. They're about halfway there. Hanzo is way down in the bot lane, though. It's going to be a little bit before he gets here. Doesn't have play of the game yet, so he's got to rotate up the old-fashioned way. Meanwhile, Swagner is getting kind of low on the back end. You have the Cocoon coming out onto Rexar. Meanwhile, we'll have a bit of an early interrupt there on the Mosh Pit. But they do get the kill onto Malthael. So it's a good solid start here for Reborn Knights Red. They've got the man advantage. A brew or two going to get hit. And it actually spreads the bomb there to Veggies. A little bit of damage dealt there. Odin has been out here for Stamop. Going to finally end up going down there. On the Odin, at least. Meanwhile, only 5 more for virtual Murky Slayers, but somehow that Scatter Arrow didn't find anything. And they're actually going to make him pay for that one. As Anna in a little bit too far. E-Bagatron still trying to find those last 2, but it's only 4 away for Reborn Knights Red, and they're going to be able to pick this off before E-Bagatron can snipe it away. Nice grab for them here. Now the Arcane Punisher will march on down the mid lane. The jump and the follow-up is good, and Nubarak gets blown up here. Follow-up just immense. Now we will have the stun from Misa. Look at the follow-up stun as Ninja gets in there and gets a couple kills, but will go down to the turret shots and E-Bagatron's damage. Gets the actual killing blow. A couple of those shots were coming in to do the deed as well, though, but look out, Anna goes down. Again, there's just too much follow-up stuns here. The Punisher jumps in, and it's like everybody from Reborn Knights Red has a follow-up. And they're going to get the first keep of the game here in mid. They could try to finish, but they're going to choose to go ahead and back off. I think I like the call. It's definitely a tough one. They can send Misha and Rexar back to clear, which is good. They've got that camp pushing in top they needed to clear out. VMS, 2 members were up in about 11 seconds. Would have been about somewhere between 5 to 8 seconds by the time they got onto the core. They didn't have a whole lot of a wave there. And, you know, it is still about 15, 16 minute mark at that point. So not easy to take a core down by any means. Meanwhile, they're getting close to 20. If Reborn Knights Red is just careful and passive, they can definitely get to that level 20. Veggie's trying to find something, even willing to throw out the cocoon deep into enemy territory there onto Ninja. Just trying to force anything before level 20, but not going to find it. Reborn Knights Red playing this so smart. They're going to continue to be passive for this next half a level. They're going to get it through Trickle, but look out! They find a Brewer 2 out a little bit too far, trying to get in a little too deep to force. The 2-man mosh pit does get interrupted by the arrow. Veggie's trying to go in to do something here to try and salvage it, but Stamop goes in deep, finds the kill, dashes away like a boss here. Veggies is going to go down, and just like that, it's a 4-for-1 exchange. And E-Bagatron's even in a little bit of trouble here. Stamop on the chase there, and not quite enough damage with the grenade, but still, E-Bagatron incredibly low health, and it looks like right now, Reborn Knights Red feels good enough to go finish. And with so many members down for so long here, level 20, big red button, I think they've got it here, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1. It's going to go over to Reborn Knights Red on Infernal Shrines. GG, well played. All right. So we'll quickly go over the stats here for game number 1. Give me just one moment here. Yeah, all game long, E-Bagatron doing so much damage on that Hanzo, but they just didn't quite have the finishing potential, I feel like. The Cassia, good dive hero. Malthael also able to get deep in there, but between the Rexar, Misha zoning, all of the CC that everybody on Reborn Knights Red had, it seemed like it was pretty difficult to actually lock down any of the members of Reborn Knights Red and try to get any big kills there. One last right stack that whole game. Just pretty tough overall. All right, that is game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly load up game number 2 here. If I can get out of this replay, that would be a good start. All right, so it looks like we're going to have game number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And the teams didn't swap sides. You guys are gods. You're doing God's work right now. All right. So let's hop on in to game number 2, shall we? Tomb of the Spider Queen. On the left, we've got Virtual Murky Slayers. Fake News Nate going to be playing the Thrall. Veggies on the Anubarak. Swagneros playing the Junkrat. A Brew or Two is going to be on the Ragnaros. And who did I miss? E-Bagatron going to be on the Junkrat.
10 seconds.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the right, Reborn Knights Red. We're going to have Stock playing the Rhaegar. We're going to have Danebrow on the Varian, Stamop playing the Tychus, Ninja on the ETC, and Ryan's going to be playing the Kael'thas. Taking a look at the level 1 talents. Looks like Crash Lightning coming in for Fake News Nate. So, looks like a Brew or Two. Probably going to be moseying on down to the solo lane, and there he goes. And Reborn Knights Red just doesn't even want any part of this. Ironically, Stack does jump around there. Did you see that lightning was pretty cool. Jumped from Tychus to the turret to the gate, and then eventually ended up landing onto Rhaegar. Meanwhile, again, triple globe talents picked up for the side of Reborn Knights Red. And look at the early camp start. Stamop actually in a little bit of trouble here, but not really in trouble, but just kind of low health. Stock will rotate up to help him out there. That's maybe one of the earliest camp attempts I've ever seen. Now that I say that, but then of course, Virtual Murky Slayers rotates to theirs pretty much right after I say that. So, a couple of early camp grabs. Stamop also going to rotate down and grab the bottom one as well. A little bit of XP missed up in the top lane for VMS as they're brawling a bit in the mid. Maybe we'll rotate up to get maybe the 1. But certainly get the gems. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, again, the duo of Stamop and Stock. Gonna grab that. And look at the gank squad here as well. Hello. First blood gonna go over to Reborn Knights Red. Not only that, but a bunch of gems are gonna hit the floor from that solo lane spot for VMS. And now the camp is pushed in. Camp cleared in the mid for VMS. Without any damage onto the structures, but gem advantage now for Reborn Knights Red. And they're starting to get their globe quests going, 4, 5, and 6 respectively. Only 3 stacks for Thrall on the Crash Lightning. They just haven't been in the same area yet, so it's been a little bit tough for him to get any stacks. Reborn Knights Red is kind of spreading out through most of this game so far. They have grouped up in the mid, and you can see Fake News Nate is there to try, but this time does not get the lucky bounce. Meanwhile, Ryan's going to go ahead and drop in 14. Only 5 gems away are Reborn Knights Red, and they'll get a few more there on the top. Fake News Nate trying to put a little bit of damage on Ninja, but he's completely out of mana here. Meanwhile, again, the rotation and a brew or two getting very low. By the way, Colossus Smash Varian. Only took me a few levels to notice that. Fine veggies here in the bush, but Burrow Charge coming out just in time. Ooh, that one was close. Meanwhile, the side of Reborn Knights Red, they do have enough. Fake News Nate actually going to get caught out a little bit here. And going to be very close. He does manage to make it out, though. Nice peels from Veggies. And good old E-Bagatron there. Oh, the slide again, though. Fake News Nate just under a ton of pressure. Danebrow jumping over that little mid-divider wall there with the Colossus Smash. Stamot being pushed in a little bit here in the bot lane. But he's going to have some gems to pick up after that. And now Veggie's in a lot of trouble. Does Burrow Charge away, but is going to get just chewed through his health. Meanwhile, Swagneros soaking up here in the top lane. Still only 6 turned in for the side of VMS. Both sides have enough. But need a turn in from Danebrow. He's going to rotate up to top, see if he can sneak it in top, but I think they saw him there. E-Bagatron's not going to let that go for free. His head pokes it in. Put Sleep down. And now multiple members rotating in. Ryan's going to have to be careful here. Ninja taking a little bit of damage. But Stock just kind of, you know, being the guy behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the Rhaegar taking the camp in the bot lane. See the slide through from Ninja trying to get away here. The turn in does happen in the bot lane though. And Reborn Knights Red will have the first set of Web Weavers coming out here. And a brew or two gonna get dove upon here, and that looks like it's gonna be another pick and another at least 15 gems on the floor there. Just having a rough time down in the solo lane. These are good rotations for Reborn Knights Red. They're being very aggressive, rotating regularly down here, not being discouraged by the idea of a missed gank. They now have 3 kills, all of them single kills. Meanwhile, Veggie's going back and forth with Brian's in the mid. The Pyroblast. I like that as kind of a self-peel, you know? It's kind of a get off me kind of heroic. Oh, meanwhile, the 2-man mosh pit. Ninja is eating the damage from those towers, but Stock going to throw out the Ancestral just to keep him nice and healthy. And that is going to be a pick onto the Ana. Again, good target calling by Reborn Knights Red. They knew they couldn't. They knew they didn't have them forever there. It wasn't going to be enough damage to kill both of the mosh pitted targets, so they did a nice job of focusing down one. Meanwhile, Veggie's getting very low. Fake News Nate as well. Sulfurous trying to zone them away, but not finding the mark on the Stocktigan there. Stocktigan, aka Stock. Yes, I've known these guys a while. I may or may not have been a previous team captain for Reborn Knights Red. Long ago in the ancient days of Chair League. But we will see BMS looking to rotate up to top. Maybe trying to look for either a turn-in or for picks. But Swagneros has quite a few. Not enough. 33 would be a good boon, though. Sat through an entire 30-second commercial to come and say hi. Well, hello, Selexia. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. We're doing replay casts tonight. Reborn Knights Red up 1-0 here over VMS. Normally I would say don't spoil it for me, but I actually do know how this match ends, but I won't tell you guys how it ends. But meanwhile, Reborn Knights Red gonna go ahead and pick up the turn in. We do have the cocoon on the backside though. Kael'thas has got to look out here. Danebrow getting a bit low. It's gonna make it out though. Gets the Ancestral from stock. But look out, Tychus trying to get into that Odin. Does use the cooldown, but ends up falling anyway. Ouchies. Even has the increased armor and is unstoppable when he's doing that, but not going to be enough. But look out, the push right directly into the bot lane. They're dealing quite a bit of damage directly to this keep. Swagneros back here trying to respond to it. Meanwhile, in the mid, they do manage to clear it out for that mid lane. But look at the Ancestral. Ninja willing to settle for the one-man, even committing the Pyroblast to it. They get Piguse Nate down. And up in the top lane, a little bit of damage there. Looks like bot lane gets pretty much cleared out. Selexia, thank you very much for those 69 bits. Always appreciate the support. Slide in by Ninja there onto a brew or two, and the dive in. All 5 members of Reborn Knights Red on the same page here. They're doing a nice job of executing what their comp is meant to do. This is a pick comp if I've ever seen one. And picking they are. They're picking their way right through this match. Now, they don't have anywhere near enough gems to turn in here. Worth noting that VMS does have enough gems, but we'll see if they attempt a turn-in or look to try and grab this boss. This was not a sneaky rotation, especially with Arcane Ninja way out in the lane zoning. They know they're there, but without level 13 and the way the team fights have been going so far, they don't want to force, and I can't blame them. We'll see Reborn Knights Red rotating to the mid lane. Gonna soak out a little bit, maybe put a little pressure onto one of these lanes, or rotate to the camp. You see the pings coming out. Veggies will scout this out. He's gonna have to walk back up through the mid lane. He even gets hit by the face belt over the wall. That's funny. Boss is gonna be cleared out in the top lane. Not even gonna get the turret. Feels bad, man. Wait a minute, but wait. No, okay. Retargeted onto Junkrat. Swagneros saved it. Well done. But Reborn Knights Red not looking for a fight right now. They know they've got a pretty firm control of this game. All they really need to do is just bide their time. Veggies does have the turn-in up in top, though. We'll be able to turn this in, and this is not a bad turn-in. Oh, and they almost got to that bruiser camp, but it disappeared just before they could grab a hold of it. VMS is going to have a bit of an opportunity here to even out these lanes. And look at the full-on gank squad right now coming in from Reborn Knights Red. They are looking for blood. This is the fight that VMS wants, though. This is the last opportunity they're going to get for a team fight before level 16 comes in. And Reborn Knights Red knows that. They back up to the wall. Very smart move. They're willing to take uneven fights, but when you're ahead like this, there's no reason to take a straight-up 5v5. It's just not worth it. Meanwhile, VMS going to rotate down and look to try and get some advantage here in bot. And this is how you do it. When you really want to force a fight, but the enemy team is just kind of sitting behind the gates, playing safe, you want to force your advantage. You have the advantage in that scenario because you can do whatever you want. The enemy team does not want to force a team fight on you. So they'll go down to the bot lane, support their web weaver, and get that bottom fort. Maybe open up a bit of a map objective, or a win condition, I should say, for later in the game. I'll go ahead and get the front wall here in mid as well. Level 16s are now in, though, for Reborn Knights Red. They can look to force themselves if they want to. Like this call from VMS. Go ahead and dump your gems while you got them. Dane Brow does scout out that last turn-in attempt, though. Oh, and the mosh pit whiffing there from Ninja. But Sulfuris missing on the other side as well. Meanwhile, Veggies had gotten chunked there. Big Riptire going to chunk out the members of Reborn Knights Red, but Dane Brow is in there. Gets the did get the Ancestral, but it got canceled out by that grenade from E-Bagatron. Still, he's healthy enough to go in and finish off Ragnaros. And Reborn Knights Red finding the 16 team fight they wanted and ends up getting a 2-for-0 off of it. Very nicely done by these guys. And they have almost enough gems for a turn-in at this point. They're going to go ahead and get their camp. So the remaining gems are going to be here on these guys. Swagneros going to go ahead and Ripper Air his way on out of that one. While Stock turning in the bot. Ryan's turning in the top. And the only one left to turn in is Stamop. And he grabs enough gems to complete the turn-in. Well played macro there by Reborn Knights Red. As Virtual Murky Slayers didn't want to come out to play this time around without level 16. They should get a level 16 off of this mid wave, though. And mid is going to be the only lane where a Webweaver is going to be pushing in deep, but Stamop's going to go ahead and pop the Odin. He's going to look to push in here. Sleep does go down onto Dane Brow, but he's going to be able to pop the protection against a lot of that damage from a Brewer 2's Molten Core. And again with a nice protect, but now the AoE starting to come out. The snipe coming in as well. Ryan's in a little bit of trouble, but nice clear out onto that Riptire. They're able to get rid of that. Web Wrap did go down onto ETC. He's in no man's land here. Gets hit by the Sleep and a lot of the CC. Even the Earthquake going down, trying to keep him out. Stock going to go ahead and throw the Ancestral on him to keep him nice and healthy. But it's actually Veggies that gets caught out, being a little bit too deep there. Eats all that damage from Kael'thas and Varian, and is going to end up going down. Meanwhile, look at Stamop, just split pushing in the bot lane. Going to get that bottom keep, top keep. Now also going to be under a lot of pressure. So right now, War of Attrition just kind of being lost here by VMS. They didn't lose that mid team fight very hard. They only lost 1 or 2 members. No, they only lost the 1 member in that team fight. Only the Anubarak. Swagneros, meanwhile, going to jump away with that Ripper Air. Makes it back before that Pyroblast came in to kill him. But still, it zoned him away. You know, the main anti-siege tool for VMS is basically Junkrat and or the Ragnaros with the Molten Core. So we knew Molten Core was already down. You just zone away the Junkrat with that Pyroblast, and that's free keep. 2 keeps down now for VMS. They're going to start to get in desperation mode as level 20 is going to be coming in soon here for Reborn Knights Red. So we're going to see them start to rotate around and look to force. They are up here in the top lane, posturing around boss, but I actually think if you're Reborn Knights Red, you don't even really care about that. Let them have the boss. It's got to go through a fort and a keep. And that thing is going to get burned down pretty easily. They can look to take the fight if they want to, but without level 20, it's not even really worth it, in my opinion. They're going to rotate up, but it doesn't look like they're going to be... Well, actually, they could be here on time. I take it back. Oh, but counter synergy there. Ouch, that hurts. Meanwhile, we do see the Odin being popped. The boss goes down and is capped for VMS, but the kill goes on to Anubarak first here. So we are going to see the boss starting to push in on the other side, but is now out of the team fight. Fake News Nate taking a bit of damage there. Stock a little bit low. Dane Brow also kind of low, but he goes in onto a Brewer 2. Almost gets the kill, but is going to have to back out. Ninja is here, though. Gets scouted out in the bush by that Junkrat grenade. Still on the chase is Ninja, but the members of Reborn Knights Red more interested in clearing the boss right now. Fort does end up going down, but on the other side, catapults being blocked. Oh, that's great. Sorry, I missed the Junkrat kill. I was distracted there. Oh, the siege camp blocking out the catapult was just too juicy. I was looking at that like, huh? But with Junkrat going down, that means Reborn Knights Red's got level 20, and they're going to look to push in with it. And they go in onto the core here. Ton of damage onto the backside onto E-Bagatron. Molten Core is popped by a brew or two. Gets the Sulfurous onto Rhines, but Storm Shield coming out there from stock. Going to be able to keep them alive. Ragnaros still trying to put the damage down, but his Molten Core is over. Thrall is going to fall along with the Anubarak, and with that, I think the Reborn Knights Red has what they need to be able to go on to the core here. Shields being ripped back down after spawning. Ragnaros falls, and with the big red button and the Odin, that is going to be it. GG's are called, and Reborn Knights Red scoring a 2-0 here over Virtual Murky Slayers. Previously, the Terror in Division B West. Reborn Knights Red finding the solution. Finding a good answer here. 14-1 in the second game. And they looked pretty good in the first game, too. Could this be the season for Reborn Knights Red? As we take a look at these talents. Big Ignite damage coming in from Rhines throughout the game. 47 globes this game. Fake News Nate never quite able to finish that Crash Lightning build. It was a very nice job from Reborn Knights Red not feeding that early in the game. Kind of resulted in it never really stacking up. But we'll take a look at the actual damage numbers. Danebrow top damage for Reborn Knights Red with 50k. Quite a lot of damage there. Siege, as you would expect. Swagnaros on Junkrat and Kael'thas on, or Rhines on Kael'thas. Kind of dominating those numbers with the wave clear. Alright, well that, ladies and gentlemen, is Reborn Knights Red versus VMS. So that's all she wrote for that replay. And I'm going to take a quick break. I think I'm going to do at least one more set tonight. I think I've still got it in me, but I think I should probably take a little bit of a break, refresh the old water, get myself, maybe I'll do some hot chocolate or something. You know, I think the reason that Baja is able to cast these so many in a row for so long is because he does the tea thing. So I'm not into tea, but I'll get myself a nice warm drink. We'll put 10 minutes on the clock, and we'll come back with another set here for our NGS replay casting marathon #1. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back in just a few moments.